Hello, people of the internet. My name is George, and with me is my brother Preston.
Hey guys, and also we have a special guest joining us, Jen, the writer for PULSAR.
Hey guys.
And we promised you a QA video, so here it is.
But first off, we just want to say thank you guys so much for all of your support and your kind words and your comments and your emails. It means so much to us that you guys like this game, and doing what you love it only feels greater when you have such this kind of support backing you as you do it. So we just want to let you guys know that we're extremely grateful, and we're gonna do our best not to let you guys down. While we're answering these questions, we're gonna be showing off like a quick planet type that we created. It's like an alien forest, sort of has that kind of vibe to it. So enjoy the view and hopefully enjoy our answers to these questions. Okay, so the first off, alpha access. The game is currently in super extreme pre-alpha. So it's nowhere near actually being considered an alpha to us yet. We'll consider alpha when we have most of the gameplay mechanics in and like 90% of the ship systems. Then we'll call it alpha. You can expect that we'll probably send out random alpha keys earlier, super early next year, maybe even in December if we get lucky. So just expect that.
Okay, so you guys have been wondering if there will be any extravehicular activity suits. Well, it's uncertain at the moment, and if we decide to implement them, they'll probably be only on certain ship models and used under certain circumstances. Can crew actions negatively affect the ship? Definitely. The engineer can overheat the ship, the pilot can crash into asteroids. A lot of your choices will impact the success of your voyage.
So we've had some questions concerning our warp travel, and so I'll go into that. We call them warp jumps, so that's sort of the full name. Most people just call them jumps. So there's sort of a mix between an FTL, sort of fast and light drive jump mechanic, where you have instant travel from one location to another, and a Star Trek style warp, where you sort of enter a high velocity state, and you can actually change your direction as you're flying. So it's sort of a mix in that there is a predestined start and end point, but the travel isn't instantaneous. It's about 400 light years a second, so it's very quick, with most jumps lasting 2 to 3 seconds. But you can jump from one side of the galaxy to another if you have a coordinate. So you have to have essentially discovered it, gotten a coordinate. There's several ways to do that, and a full jump across the galaxy takes about 2 minutes.
As far as communication goes with other ships, we're going to build a full dialogue system just for handling that, ranging from options for diplomacy, to trade, to intimidation, and potentially even provoking enemy ships to attack you. We're really excited to get some awesome flavor text from Jen to put in the game as well, to handle these conversations.
Will it be a single ship against all odds, or will multiple ships be working together? Pretty much right now, it's going to be a single ship. We're not against the possibility of having more ships together, but right now we want to focus on making a single ship and its crew as fun an experience as possible. The next question is if there will be hangar bays where players can jump into smaller fighters. Not currently. It's a great idea, but we'll think about adding something like that later.
As far as ship-to-ship boarding goes, players will be able to teleport from one ship to another as long as the shields are down. And there are ways to sneak on board enemy ships that we will be building into the game. There's going to be a ton of things that are necessary, and it's not going to be a walk in the park to do it. But you can board an enemy ship, avoid being detected by their security cameras, sneaking around corners, planting bombs on vital systems of the ship, and teleporting yourself back out before blowing it up. We really think it'd be a really cool idea to have that, so we're going to do our best to get it in the game.
So we had a few questions about how entering a planet works in the game. Some of them were saying it'd be really cool to fly your ship down, and that is really cool, but we have to focus on what we can possibly achieve and what kind of technical constraints we have. So currently you beam down to the surface. You have multiple points you could beam down to, but your ship always stays in space. So you can never, take your ship into the atmosphere. The ships aren't built for that. We had another question, how many planet types are planned? So currently we have about a dozen planet types planned. This may go up to about 20, but they range, from all types of different planets. So you'll definitely be, a lot of variety there. So another question, will it be possible to have a planet without oxygen or an atmosphere? And the answer is absolutely. We'll just need to get EVA suits in. And if we get that, then it shouldn't be much challenge at all to get planets in that don't have oxygen, so you have a limited oxygen supply. Another question, will there be mementos that you can bring back from planets? And that's another definite. So we definitely want the ability to find artifacts, perhaps from ancient alien ruins on the surface, and perhaps potentially even profit from them if you find the right buyer. So there's another possibility that you can find alien plants or life that may be of use for the scientist in his research in unlocking new upgrades for the crew.
Explorable space stations. Yes, we're going to have them. Some might contain valuable resources or information. You could be answering distress calls. You could be ambushed and encounter enemies. And we do have plans for some abandoned ones as well, which can add that horror aspect to the game.
So we got this interesting question about moments in the game. Are all the moments in the game just going to be shoot first, think later? You're always fighting, not always thinking kind of scenarios? And the answer is absolutely not. We definitely want some crazy, interesting, abstract scenes in the game and scenarios that can may take a moment to wrap your head around it. Space is a huge place, and there's going to be lots of strange things waiting for you to discover them, and it's not always going to be about shooting and fighting. So stay tuned for more information on that.
Some of you have been asking about factions. Well, there will be 5 playable factions, which will include the Colonial Union, the WD Corporation, the Alliance of Gentlemen, the Fluffy Biscuit Company, and the Polytechnic Federation. For more information, check out our website or the announcements section of our Greenlight page.
So we had a few questions about persistent elements outside of each playthrough. So we're aiming to build sort of like a roguelike game, so persistent elements are very rare. The only real persistent element is the ships you have unlocked. So as you're playing the game, you can do special missions or find secret objectives that will unlock ships, so you can actually start the game flying a totally different ship. So that's basically the only thing that's persistent. Those will save over time. You don't need to worry about dying and losing all your ships. As far as ending being changed based on how you play, that's absolutely happening. And it will even change based on the faction you're playing, but we won't go into a lot of detail on the ending. It's a big part about the game, so we don't want to spoil anything. We had a few questions about modding support. It's a big goal for us. We can't currently guarantee we're going to have it. We're running into some technical constraints with our engine, the Unity 3D engine, and currently if we wanted to support modding, it looks like the modders would have to purchase Unity Pro, and that's not very acceptable. So we're looking at either creating our own tools to help with the modding process or finding a way around that restriction, because we want people to be able to mod the game without buying a $1,500 piece of software. So we had a few questions about the price of the final release. Is it going to be free to play? Is it going to be flat price? And we have special prices for the beta/alpha. So we can't give you a specific price just yet. We need to talk with Valve about an agreement. We need to, they have a say. They have a part of the say in what the price of the game is on Steam. So we can't give you a specific price, but we can tell you what we're aiming for. Our current plan is to have, it's not free to play. It's a flat price for the whole game. We don't want to rely on schemes or microtransactions or, having to worry about sucking money from the player. We just want one cost, you get everything. As far as price, we're aiming for under $30. We can't give you much more specific than that, but that's what we're aiming for. So expect something under $30. So our current estimated launch date is summer 2014, so somewhere between probably July and August 2014. So look for it then.